Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match predictions for week 20 Premier League fixtures, and I got a feeling this is going to be the best weekend yet when it comes to these games. Not only do we have a North London derby, we also have a Manchester derby on the same day. So I'm telling you, I got a feeling there's going to be so many goals, drama, entertainment, thrills like there always is. Not only that, we also got some underrated games like Brighton versus Liverpool. The last time these two teams faced, Brighton scored 3 goals at Anfield to get a draw. We also got some relegation scraps between Wolves versus West Ham. Let's see which team will be able to pick up the 3 crucial points. Also, we got Everton versus Southampton. Have Southampton turned things away, winning in the FA Cup? Can they carry this momentum against Everton, who have not won a game since October? However, before going this video and give my match predictions, you know what I'm going to say. Make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there. And make sure you guys in the comment section give me your predictions. Who do you think is going to be winning in week 20 Premier League fixtures? So the first game I'm going to be predicting, it has to be this one. It's the North London derby between Tottenham Hotspurs versus Arsenal. Not only Tottenham will be eager to win because obviously they're looking to achieve top 4 this season, they will be eager to win extra motivation because they will want to dent Arsenal titles hopes this Premier League season. And going into this game, it's going to be quite tough. I know Arsenal are the better team, obviously winning 14 out of 17 games this season so far, but at the end of the day, you know the old cliche, and it comes true. When it comes to North London derbies, the form usually goes out the window, and whichever team wants it more usually wins the game. And going into this game, it's undeniable. Arsenal have been great this season, flashy, entertaining, have been dominating teams from the get-go, scoring many goals, and on most occasions Arsenal will be able to out-football teams, outplay them, and this is where Arsenal must get it straight. Tottenham are not going to try to play them at their own game. Tottenham will be smart to understand that if we make this a football game about technical ability, you can pass the ball better, etc., Tottenham will lose. They have to get the crowd into this, feed off their energy, so they'll be able to be as physical, bring the intensity, try, throw, and disrupt Arsenal off their game. And we have seen Arsenal this season struggle against this sometimes, like against Manchester United at Old Trafford, when they had physical players on the pitch to be able to bully their midfield, and even against Newcastle in their last game in the Premier League, drawing 0-0 when they had players like Joe Linton, Willock, athletes in the midfield to really make this tough. I feel like Spurs have the personnel to be able to equip this sort of game plan against them, because we know Højbjerg has been dominant this season, and even Romero at the start, he'll be a momentum starter, obviously being able to get into those crunching tackles, getting the fans into this game. Also, we know Arsenal's diabolical record when it comes to facing Tottenham at their home stadium. They haven't won in the last decade or so, it feels like, and we saw last season Arsenal crumble when the pressure got to them when it came to the top 4 race. This side is still quite young, still quite a little bit naive. Will they be able to shrug that off in the past and literally learn from the mistakes last season and actually be able to win against Tottenham? Have they really matured and grown? We will have to wait and see. This North London derby for Arsenal is where the boys become men, when dreamers become believers and actually believe that they can actually win the Premier League this season. If Arsenal are able to pick up these 3 points, imagine the confidence and the momentum they'll be feeling going in the latter half of this Premier League season. However, there might be a plausible argument to say, did Arsenal catch Tottenham Hotspur at the wrong time? Harry Kane obviously putting the World Cup behind him, scoring 4 goals in his 4 games, and we know he's a top goal scorer when it comes to North London derbies. Also, Son getting back on the score sheet, this is going to do his confidence a world of good, and we know against Arsenal, playing counter-attacking football is only the real solution to potentially pick up points, and we know Tottenham Hotspur under Antonio Conte with the 3-4-3 formation at the back is going to be tailor-made to counter against Arsenal, with players like Son and Kane literally destroying them in previous North London derbies at home. However, are Arsenal going to be more equipped to this? Because obviously they didn't have Saliba last year, and he's going to be able to use his strength, physicality and pace to match Son, who will run in behind. Partey in the midfield, obviously man-marking Kane, not letting him turn to have time and space to pick out passes. However, it's a North London derby, and I just feel like it's a step too far to bet on an Arsenal win going into this game against Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham are a team of 2 halves, but I just don't feel like the fans are going to let them start off slow, and Antonio Conte is going to be animated, trying to get into the player's psyche that, look, we have to start off strong, otherwise Arsenal will blow us away. I'm going to go for an entertaining, thrilling game between the two sides. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Manchester United versus Manchester City in the Manchester Derby, another mouth-watering fixture between two top sides. And going into this game, it's no doubt Manchester City are the favourites. They've been better this season with the better manager, with the better players. And look, in the last 4 out of 5 times they've played Manchester United, they have actually won. They got Manchester United's number, especially at Old Trafford. However, have times changed, especially at the Theatre of Dreams? Can Manchester United fans actually dare to dream that they can beat Manchester City going into this game? The air, the mood, the atmosphere around Old Trafford has been a lot different this season, with Ten Hag being able to instill grit, toughness, steel and physicality in the midfield and the defence to ensure that they've been resilient at home and only been able to only lose one game at Old Trafford this season, when we know teams in the past haven't really been scared to go there. So Pep Guardiola can't be thinking, look, we beat them at Etihad 6-3, it's going to be that easy yet again, because ever since that fixture, Manchester United have grown, matured, developed, they've found their starting 11, and they can really hurt Manchester City if they take the day off in this Manchester derby. The biggest talking point going into this game, I feel like, is how is Ten Hag going to set up? Because obviously we know the combination of Casemiro and Eriksen has been superb. It has been working wonders. The games complement each other, with Casemiro being the destroyer, whereas Eriksen obviously starts attacks from the midfield. However, we saw this at the Etihad, and Manchester City were able to run rings around that midfield, because we know Eriksen defensively doesn't get back. He doesn't really track back. So if Ten Hag opts to start Eriksen next to Casemiro, will this leave the Brazilian isolated? Or will Ten Hag tweak this, understand from his last game that it didn't work, and actually install someone like Fred, who has the intensity, the tenacity to get around the pitch, cover the ground, to disrupt Bernardo Silva or Kevin De Bruyne picking up the ball to really hurt in Manchester United? However, will this leave Manchester United a little bit short going forward when it comes to creativity? Especially since we know in the first half of the Premier League season, Manchester United actually struggled scoring goals. However, Manchester City have reason to be scared as well. Rashford has been on fire this season, scoring 7 goals in consecutive games. This is unbelievable, and Manchester City should be worried, especially if Kyle Walker will not be fit enough to actually start this game against him. Also, Manchester United this season against the top sides, they've actually performed excellent, beating Liverpool at home, beating Tottenham at home, beating the league leaders Arsenal at home. So when it comes to the big games, they have been showing up, and Manchester City cannot underestimate them. However, I feel like Pep Guardiola is a genius. He has great IQ, he will understand the occasion, and he will get it into the players' psyches that, look, if we don't turn up, we will actually lose. In this Manchester derby, they will understand it's going to be tough, but I just feel like Manchester City will have enough quality to beat Manchester United. They'll drain the sound and the atmosphere out the stadium by dominating the possession throughout the first 15 to 20 minutes. They'll look for 1v1 matchups with Haaland against Martinez like they did in the Etihad, where they were able to get Haaland to score a hat-trick. They'll literally dictate play, look at Manchester United's weaknesses and exploit them. I feel like they'll play a methodical game, drain the atmosphere, make sure it's not really a derby feeling like game, and they will win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory for Manchester City within this game to close the gap with Arsenal. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Brighton versus Liverpool. And I know Liverpool have the reputation of being the bigger side, with a greater reputation, with the trophy cabinet being obviously full throughout the last few decades or so. But at the end of the day, Brighton have to be the favourites, right? Brighton under De Zerbi, like I've been saying in my last few videos, they haven't skipped a beat. They have been actually performing very well under him. It feels like scoring even more goals. Look at their last 2 fixtures, scoring 9. We know Liverpool's weaknesses this season has been within the midfield, and with Van Dijk missing at the back defensively, we are going to be very open and vulnerable for Brighton's midfield to take advantage of. If you match up the midfields, R1 looks leggy, old age, not at their best, whereas Brighton with McAllister, Caicedo, full of life, filled with energy, can pass the ball, dictate play, with Gross as well being a very underrated player within the Premier League. Brighton are going to dominate this game and really hurt Liverpool. Another way to really exploit Liverpool's weaknesses is down the fullback positions. We know Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson love pushing forward. There's going to be holes to exploit. And we know Mitoma, last time he checked Trent Alexander-Arnold at Anfield, he literally ripped him apart when he came on as a sub. Marsh as well on the right wing has been performing well, scoring worldies for Brighton. So going forward, Brighton do look like a threat. I don't know what Liverpool side will turn up, because if you've looked ever since the return of football, ever since the World Cup, we have not been performing well. Do not let the results fool you. Even in the game against Wolves, we conceded 2 goals and they look like the better side. I got no hope, no faith in Liverpool, and I just can't see us winning away from home. Brighton this season against the top sides as well have been performing well, destroying Chelsea, beating Manchester United at Old Trafford, even drawing against us at Anfield like I said earlier on in this video. I can't see anything but a Brighton win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory for Brighton at home against Liverpool. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Everton versus Southampton. And I have to admit, this isn't going to be the most entertaining or pretty game, because it is a relegation scrap and both teams won't really care about the performance. All they will care about is the 3 points, and let's see which team will be able to grab all 3 in their pursuit to get out of the relegation fight this season. And going into this game, Southampton have been poor. Like I said in my previous video, Nathan Jones has been poor, losing 4 out of his last 4 games, obviously picking up and winning the FA Cup in his last fixture. Let's see if that will do his confidence a world of good to motivate his team. But at the end of the day, Southampton have been very poor. There's a reason why they're bottom of the league. And look, if you're a Southampton fan, I'm sure many of them have been thinking, how on earth are we going to get out of this relegation scrap? However, it's not bad at Everton either. They have not won a game since October. Fans are turning on Frank Lampard. It feels like they think he's out of his depth, especially with Iwobi missing, one of their bright sparks this season. They're going to be missing some guile and creativity within the midfield to really take the game to Southampton, and this game isn't going to be filled with many chances either way. Also, Goodison Park has been a laughingstock. Teams have been winning there for fun. Look at the last game against Brighton, conceding 4 goals. Goodison Park isn't the most scary atmosphere it once was under David Moyes or in the past. So Southampton themselves can be hopeful that potentially they could pick up 3 points themselves. This game will lack quality, will lack confidence. I feel like players will shy away from the ball and really impact the game. I'm going to go for a stalemate game between these two sides. I don't see a lot of chances being created. I'm going to go for a 0-0 game within this fixture and will not help either team in pursuit of getting out of the relegation scrap. So next game I'll be predicting is Wolves versus West Ham. Another game which it feels like is going to be a deciding factor to which team will be getting relegated this season. And going into this fixture, I feel like both fans will be complete opposite in terms of their confidence. Wolves, I feel like under Lopetegui, have drastically improved. It feels like they're buying into his ideals, they're buying into his style of play, and they're actually playing for the manager. And you can see with the work rate, the intensity, the way they're playing so far, they have deserved more wins than they have actually gotten. Whereas West Ham, it feels like the fans are waiting for David Moyes to be sacked because they don't feel like he can get the best out of their talented group of players as we speak. Although West Ham did beat Bournemouth in the FA Cup, maybe that confidence is going to linger into this game against Wolves. I still can't see West Ham winning. The things I'm seeing from Wolves is actually very good. Against top sides like Manchester United and Liverpool, playing both teams hard, and even in the FA Cup game against Liverpool, playing the strongest side, against Liverpool's strongest side, I feel like they deserve the win. Traore feels like a new, reinvigorated man, driving with the ball, showing his pace and physicality, actually picking out some passes where it feels like all the time it used to be wayward. Guedes getting goals up front alongside Jimenez. Also Neves, we know he's always been a talented midfielder who keeps the game ticking, always trying to find the right pass to ensure that they can be on the front foot. I feel like Wolves going forward, especially at Molineux, is going to be a very tough ground for West Ham to actually win. I feel like Wolves will just have enough against West Ham to win this game, maybe lead to David Moyes getting sacked this season. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Wolves within this fixture. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you leave your predictions in the comment section. Who do you think is going to be winning in Week 20 Premier League fixtures?